Hey, good morning. How are you this fine day? I'm on a little bit of a road trip to service some clients today, so I'm having some time to think and to process and to move energy. Today, what's coming up is birthing a new reality. Now, what does that mean? Ascending and going through the vibrations to move to a higher frequency, a higher vibration, more positive, more light, more great manifestation, etc. Is a journey, and it's literally a birthing process. So how do we make it supported within ourselves when we're product of a lower density reality that has scarred us and caused a bunch of discomfort and pain and labeled us with all these unworthiness themes, etc. What a big mess, eh? So as I'm going through my ascension process each and every day, so much stuff is showing up, so much old density, so much distrust, so much I could have done better, looking back, all these kind of things are just sitting there. And it's the mind and the ego all trying to hold on to that old reality. But at the same time, at least in my experience, I don't know about your experience, but maybe you're feeling the same, where I am embodying more and more of my higher self. So this higher wisdom, my soul self, my higher self, etc. There's tons of different names for it. Even things like kingships and sovereignty and stuff is all us joining with our divine counterpart, some people would say, which they might call it divine union, but it's also the divine part of ourselves, the part of ourselves that's part of God, the fractal rejoining the whole. And so we have this anchor kind of tied around our body and our self-definition and our past stories and what we think is truth, etc. And at the same time, we've got this, the way I see it, it's kind of like this balloon that's inserted inside of ourselves, and we're slowly blowing it up. And it's cracking off the old story and the old density, and it's just starting to make us feel our full size. And imagine our full size as being double, triple, 100 times. It's our fullness of self, our fullness of power, of self-love, of creation, of etc., etc., etc. Now that part knows the way, but our ego self and these old parts are all mired in the safety of what is, and then maybe it's kind of demented because it's like, it can't possibly get worse than this, so I'll sit with this struggle and this survival and hope it doesn't get any worse. When really our soul is like, holy crap, you're stuck in this density and it's squashing you and it's asking you to step out and above. And it's not abandoning your body or the human part of yourself. For the first time, I think in all reality, we're being allowed to bring our body with us as we ascend. And it's an uncomfortable process. Can you imagine being squashed into like 1/10 of your normal size, and then somebody sticks a balloon in you and starts cranking it up? Well, where are the creaks and cracks and discomfort? I feel it all over in my body, where it's like crackly and tight and like blood flow going back to places that didn't have blood flow before. This uncomfortableness, like headaches, lots of exhaustion, lots of insanity that no longer serves. And that's okay, because that's the process, that's the awakening, that's the quickening, that's the part of us that's ready to step into our absolute fullness. And with that fullness comes a pull to create new reality, to ascend the planet, to make things better, to create new communities, to do things that have never done before, or bring things forth that have been suppressed and not permitted for a very long time, and making that all now part of a new, what I'll call unlimited possibility. It's like birthing ourselves to the fact that we're unlimited creators, and that really all we had to do was breathe and step forward, and all of a sudden the magic starts to happen. Something new. Our whole soul self is part of a massive plan, and we each have these specific functions that we're here to bring, and old facets and old knowledge that's been suppressed and said bad or outlawed by the church or whatever. There's all these things like sacred sexuality temples, places where free and flowing energy is permitted, where communities grow. Look at how communities have been suppressed and how they've been torn apart with all the things that have been going on. And now we're going to have this opportunity to rebuild them, to build self-governance. And I'm not talking anything near like government. I'm talking a really simple set of guidelines that a group of people, hey, much love, their links as well, thank you, where these really simple guidelines. And how do you deal with conflict instead of policing and breaking laws and sending people to prison, where the elders of the community sit and you bring in a couple of your friends and we go through what trauma is causing these conflicts and help people move through it and smile through it and have awareness of both perspectives, because sometimes there's hate or anger that's been created from our lineage or our parents or other things that needs to be processed in a community space where it can be reflected and saying, is that really true? And why do you feel so angry? And holding space while people move through anger, through frustration, through conflict with their lovers, with their community, with all these things are all just cries for help to change. So the birthing process for me is to bring forth all these beautiful facets and bring back these beautiful spaces of loving reverence for each other, which hasn't existed for a long time. The families got torn down, the communities got torn down, religion gave a perversion to community to force people to give and volunteer and be part of God and all this kind of stuff, and we got lost in it. And it's not bad, it's just we didn't know any better. We thought that was good, but we were always left feeling like something was missing. And now we're here to rebuild that fullness, so that vibration as it's expanding in you, that light that's expanding in you, what does it want to do? I want to build those communities. I see myself traveling across the world and going to stadiums with this group of people and spreading this loving light, and like hundreds of thousands of people in a stadium getting a loving vibration, an unconditional love vibration by me sharing my story and my light and that what I found, and that plants a seed in the fertile soil of people that are broken open by whatever's about to occur. People will be smashed, they'll be scared, they'll be having to look at the truth and not knowing what to do, and they'll go to spaces where we sit and we get cracked open, and then we build joy with the people that we meet there. We build communities, and then these communities support us, and then they have these events for other people, and you create a space where these gentle guidelines of loving respect for each other are allowed to grow and foster. And when things get uncomfortable and don't feel safe and whatever, you'll have people you can talk to, and you can start to shine with them and start to open. And what's your new reality? What do you feel? What's your fragment of God, of this beautiful plan that you want to bring forth and grow in this new fertile soil that's coming? Because we're birthing a new reality. Everything may crash down around us, and what we have and what we are and what we do and what we own and stuff is falling apart. But not in a bad way where we're going to be lost and die, but falling away so that you can be truly free. The anchors of a home and as much as survival and other things, but all those belongings and things have a cost and and keep up and all these things. We're starting to learn that those things aren't nearly as important. We maybe want to live in community. We want to live in a group, in sustainable farms, in sustainable ecosystems where the community builds and they trade with other people. And these are the villages that we once had on this world that have been torn down. But as we go and we heal and we move through our stuff, we're going to want to be so giving and loving in places where other people are giving and loving. And then you experience balance and you experience flow and you experience your creative power as we are washed of what no longer serves. This is the new reality. What do you feel inside? What's the glow? And then how much do you think about it? How much do you start to foster it in your heart and just start to bubble and percolate that thing? And then share like this, have a discussion, put something on a live, or just write a letter that you give to your friends, or anything where we're just declaring a possibility of new and declaring and building the fertile soil within you, and then spreading it out, and other people that maybe aren't ready to build their own are going to join up and start a co-creative process with other people that have it, that are creating it from scratch. And then more and more people get drawn. It's like a magnet of love, and the magic grows, and our heart grows, and our vibration grows, until one day all we see is the community that we have, the people around us, the light. And then more and more attracted, the people that aren't fall away, and they go and get crushed, and they go get their darkness, and they feel the negative experiences, and then they have a chance to open up because now the light's allowed in. And the magic happens in all this density that we're going on right now. It's forcing us to choose better. It's cracking us open. It's giving us the possibility that something new is coming. And then we create it, and then we shine it, and then next day, you're just in the magic. And it was all from your desire, all from your creation, all from you wanting more. So just go into yourself and start to feel, what's that thing that you want? What's the thing that you need? What's the thing that would open your heart? Another one that I have is building back Temple of Isis type temples and sacred sexuality communities that aren't filled with predators and bullshit and all the stuff that's been going on, but filled with de-shaming and de-guilting right from the very beginning, and a community space where no one's afraid to ask for what they want. Everyone believes in communication. Everyone believes in consent. Everyone believes in respect. Everyone is freed of all their shit that makes all these negative things happen, because we set it free. We observe it in others. We call it forth. We call it into the light. We open things, and then we start to share. And the very acts of intimacy and connection and depth and vulnerability and crying and tears and emotion smash us open and release the frigging energies that are trapped, the angers, the frustrations, the past traumas, everything. And then we just go into this peaceful, loving space of who we are. So I hope this resonates. It's sure resonating with me right now. I'm building that space within me. I'm loving myself. I'm giving it fertile soil, even though maybe it feels scary, and maybe somebody's going to judge me, and maybe the world doesn't understand me or see the light yet. I want it so bad. And I kept getting beat down, and I kept getting told no, and I kept getting... And it's done. It's done. It's a choice now to say, I am building this new and glorious reality that has things that crack people open and challenge them and trigger them for loving inspiration for all of us. And that's what I'm bringing forth. Speak about it. Share it. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in all your chakras, all the way down into your root, where you're grounding and being part of this reality, and then pulling it from your upper chakras and above your head, and just pulling that, and you're an anchor of love, because we need it. How do we crack open darkness? How do we crack open density than being somebody that just fucking grabs you by the collar and says, I love you. Wake up. This is time. Bring it forth. Nothing's bad. Do it. Let's do it. Let's feel it. Let's experience it. Because that's what it's all about. You're a facet of God. You're a fractal of God. Your love, your light, your expansion. And just by stating it, just by feeling in your body, just by asking somebody else if they want the same thing, you're giving permission. You're allowing. You're opening. You're the light. You're God. You're possibility right then and there. And who's going to create a possibility of something amazing and beautiful if you don't take a little courage and you go to an edge that maybe you're not comfortable with, or maybe you got shot down for before, but you're now hoping, allowing, giving it a chance, giving it fertile soil, giving it possibility. So I'm going to leave it at that. Sit with that energy. Go in. Let it crack you open and smile and allow and accept. Don't fight what is. Just rise above it. Move above it. Give it love. You're the light. I love you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the beautiful hearts there, links. And I'm wishing you a most fabulous day. And everybody else that's watching this, shine. Shine. It's time. I'm doing it. Come join me. Love you. See you soon.